Good evening and thanks for joining us. A 30-year-old man from Dawson Creek is facing charges after video surveillance showed he assaulted an employee at the city's Walmart. Dawson Creek RCMP were called to the incident at 7 o'clock last night after the man got violent when asked to wear a face mask as required by provincial health orders. The pandemic has dealt a major blow to the sporting community, and the Cougars are no exception. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel for the Cats, and the club got a chance to talk to council all about it this week. The future cast here. This is not bad. This next system over here, you can see it coming. That is going to come next week, Monday, Tuesday. That could be the most significant chance of snowfall that we see here for the next little while. But other than that, pretty clear. Things this weekend, not bad, but
with more.
Thanks, Jesse. Yeah, I spoke to a woman today who had quite the time getting a flu shot, and she's not the only one to do so. Canadians have been turning out in record numbers to get their flu shots, leaving many stores sold out.
Cybersecurity expert tells us that attacks just like the one on City Hall have increased over 216% in 2020, and the money involved in those has also nearly doubled. Stats Canada says in 2019, over 10% of Canadian businesses reported being impacted by cybercrime.
Hey there, hey man, we're with CKPG. Just wondering if we've had a number of neighbors say this is the house that had a party on Halloween night.
Sorry, not answering any.
COVID-19 is presenting some problems. As Caden Fanshaw tells us, there's a long and windy road ahead for locals waiting for test day.
For young drivers in Prince George wanting to hit the road, they're going to have to be patient to turn the key on their road test.
I was told that I could book after December 14th in Prince George.
Paige now faces a challenge many young drivers in BC are also facing. They can either wait or travel to a different municipality. The soonest Paige could have a test, mid-October in Mackenzie.
It's a little frustrating because it's not so close to home, but if I'm able to get my test done at a quicker period, then it will be worth it.
ICBC says after suspending testing back in March, they knew pent-up demand was on the horizon.
The last numbers I've checked is over 45,000 new bookings have been made just since this past Monday. To give you an idea of what that looks like on any given month pre-COVID, we were conducting 20,000 road tests a month. So to get that volume in one shot, we knew that we were going to be receiving it, which is why we increased our resources on the back end. But at the same time, we also knew that at some point it's going to peak and then level off, and that's what we're seeing right now.
ICBC is hiring temporary driving examiners, and they encourage those looking to rebook to a sooner date to check their website daily for cancellations. For Paige, having a road test in Mackenzie will be extra challenging.
I've never been to Mackenzie, so I'm hoping to get to drive there a little bit sooner before my test so I can drive around Mackenzie prior to my test.
For her mother, Deborah, that means a major inconvenience to have Paige practice to get comfortable somewhere else.
We have to be responsible for getting her to and from school, to and from work. And, you know, it's as a parent with two kids that are constantly on the go, we need that end. Like, it's just going to be so much easier for everybody because now, you know, she can have her own vehicle and she can get herself to and from work.
Paige says her friends are all under similar circumstances, which has forced more rides from mom and dad and put a stop to driving on their own until they can get a road test. Caden Fanshaw, CKPG News.
Some law enforcement was required back locally this weekend as an out-of-control house party in Prince George on Halloween night forced RCMP to take action after it turned violent. We go now live to Caden Fanshaw near Paddle Wheel Park for more. Caden, you knocked on some doors today. What did you hear from neighbors?
Thanks, Jesse. Yeah, we're here at Paddle Wheel Park. You can see the street behind me where Saturday night, Halloween night, neighbors, which is typically a quiet neighborhood here at Regents Crescent, turned into chaos with an out-of-control house party.
It was no treat for the Prince George RCMP responding to a party on Regents Crescent on Halloween night.
You know, basically an out-of-control party. There was fighting in the front fighting in the backyard, there was fighting in the house, there was intoxicated youth everywhere.
When Mounties arrived on scene just before 11:30 p.m., they found a house party out of control with roughly 50 teenagers involved. Paramedics needed to be called after police found 2 teens unconscious in the basement, earning the homeowner a fine of $2,300.
We don't like to give out these tickets, but definitely in this case it was much warranted to do that. Not only was the adult not being responsible in the first place, but also was intoxicated and even less responsible.
It's gatherings like these that caught the attention of Minister of Health-elect Adrian Dix, who's had enough.
We've proven that we know how to do it, and we need to do that together right now. Right now, we again need to turn the tide on COVID-19 in BC, and I believe we can do that. And part of how we do that is to follow the guidance provided by public health officials. Part of what we do that is to follow, of course, the orders, which are the law of public health officials.
CKPG News attempted to speak to the homeowners of the alleged site of the party Tuesday, but they didn't have much to say.
Hey there, hey man, we're with CKPG. Just wondering if we've had a number of neighbors say this is a house that had a party on Halloween night.
Sorry, not answering anything.
PGRCMP do say this isn't the first house party they've had to respond to since the most recent COVID-19 measures, something that's concerning, given the problem age group that has come to be young adults.
That age group is probably the biggest threat because they, as they go to a party like this, they go home, they contaminate their loved ones who contaminate others, and then we get a spike as a result. So let's hope there was nobody at this party that had COVID, otherwise it could spread quickly, and next time we may not be so lucky.
Tragedy struck for a local family this weekend. Today, they're still in shock after their home was destroyed in a fire Sunday morning near Tabor Lake. Tonight, Caden Fanshaw talks to the family who lost everything.
This is a nice photo that my mom had. It's a little religious photo.
That's mom's. Yeah, it's fine.
The Mamick family is still trying to process and salvage anything they can after losing everything in a fire that engulfed their home within minutes early Sunday morning.
I just watched, and I couldn't believe it because when I first got the call, I didn't believe that maybe we could save something, but there was nothing to be saved. But all I know is that we have some amazing neighbors. They even tore down the fence when my parents first came out. They rescued my parents and offered them a place to stay, clothes and shoes because they didn't have any shoes.
When Jacob first heard of the fire, he was in disbelief. His childhood home filled with belongings gone.
This is all we knew, so.
Yeah, I can't imagine what our parents are going through. My mom raised all of us here, so she lost all the photos and home videos. And
our mom already had been through a fire before. She lost her house when she was younger, so this would be really hard for her.
Yeah, this is her second fire, so.
Video captured shows the home east of Prince George consumed by flames before the volunteer fire crews could even arrive.
People don't realize how fast these things go. I mean, had somebody been right here with a truck, maybe, but then maybe not. The structure was fully engulfed within 10 minutes.
Now the family forced to start over, but they're not doing it alone. The community has already come together to provide the Mamicks with the necessities, along with a growing GoFundMe that has over $10,000 in donations by Monday afternoon. Caden Fanshaw, CKPG News.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Tune into the CKPG News at noon, 5, 6, and 11. Have a great night.